I want to talk about this project initiative from Anthropic called Project Glasswing. They have started this initiative with a lot of big companies in an effort to secure world's most critical software. The reason why they are doing this is they believe the model that they have recently developed called Claude Mythos is so powerful and it could reshape the cybersecurity. And what they are claiming is that the model that they have can surpass all but most skilled humans at finding and exploiting software vulnerabilities. This is a big news. Now, they are further going on and saying that Claude Mythos, the model that they developed, which is still in preview stage, not available generally for general public, this model has found vulnerabilities in every major operating systems and web browser. And what they want to do is, what Anthropic wants to do is, they don't want to release this model. They first want to use this model to fix these issues. They want to use this model to find these issues and fix those issues. They are actually collaborating with the actual companies which have developed these softwares to make sure these softwares are made secure, these vulnerabilities are fixed. So they basically want to use it for defensive purposes only. Then they go on and say that they have included additional 40 organizations into this group, and they have pledged or committed 100 million in credit usage for Mythos preview. So that credit can be used to secure these critical softwares. And they are saying that they have donated, or they are going to donate 4 million to open source security organizations. And then they are saying that no one organization can solve these problems, so it has to be a group effort, and that is why they are starting this initiative. So that is the whole message here. And they have listed some of the companies they are working with, and they then go on and explain how cybersecurity is affected in the world of AI. I'm not going to go into the details of that. That is mostly common sense. Then the important part is they have listed some of the vulnerabilities Claude Mythos has identified. So these are just teaser. They are not giving full detail here, but they have listed the full detail in another blog post. But they have not listed the actual vulnerability if those were not patched yet. But they have given some examples here. So one of them is in OpenBSD. OpenBSD is one of the popular operating system, and Claude Mythos has found 27-year-old vulnerability in that operating system. And another example is they have found 16-year-old vulnerability in FFmpeg. By the way, FFmpeg is used by predominantly most of the streaming platforms or video player. It is used for encoding and decoding of videos. Even if you don't use it directly, probably the video that you're watching is using it internally. Okay, so this is such a critical software, and most people won't know this exists, but this is used by many video platforms to encode and decode videos. So this is one of the critical software available out there. And then of course Linux kernel. So they are saying that they have found some issues with the Linux kernel. And then they are saying that all these are patched now. That is why they have released this information. But there are some unpatched vulnerabilities. They have not disclosed them directly here, but they say that they have notified the appropriate company to address those issues. Then they go on and talk about how good the Mythos preview model is compared to Opus 4.6. By the way, Open 4.6 is the best model that they have generally available at the moment, and they are just comparing these two in one particular benchmark, which is CyberGym, which is actually evaluating the model's ability on cybersecurity issues or cybersecurity vulnerability reproduction. So on that benchmark, Claude Mythos is much better compared to Claude Opus, or it is 1/3 increase in its ability. And then they are saying that they have worked with a few other companies, and they are actually sharing their testimonial from those companies. I'm going to skip past that as well. Then they included this SWE Benchmark Pro, and they have shown that, like, how good Claude Mythos compared to Opus 4.6 when it comes to agentic coding. So this is where Claude Mythos excels according to Anthropic. The model that they have created is so good at doing agentic coding, and because it is so good at doing agentic coding, it is able to discover all these security vulnerability. So they have not created this model as a security expert model. They have developed this as a general or generic coding expert model, but as a side effect of that, they are seeing far superior ability when it comes to cybersecurity. So I'm just going to skip over this again. So then basically what they're saying is they are not going to make this model generally available because it is so dangerous if it gets in the hands of adversaries. They first want to use it for defensive purposes. They want to implement a lot of safeguards to make sure it is not going to be a dangerous model for people to use in the future. And they're saying that they're going to develop these safeguards first and deploy and test those safeguards using their Claude Opus model. So they are going to launch a new version of Claude Opus model, it seems, and with that model, they're going to test these new safeguards. So the idea is they need to have such a safeguard. So even if they want to deploy models like Claude Mythos in the future, they should be able to deploy it safely. So they're saying that that is the stage they want to reach by these safeguard improvements. And then, as a plan for their project Glasswing, what they are saying is they are going to collaborate with the leading security organizations. They are going to share their whatever they learned and whatever they find. They're going to share all of them with the public, so other companies can benefit from that. And they are saying that they also are in a discussion with the US government officials to use these models for defensive cybersecurity capabilities rather than for offensive ones. So the overall picture that they are giving here is that they are saying that they have the best model when it comes to cybersecurity, and they don't want to just to release it to general public carelessly and putting a lot of softwares that people use on a daily basis at risk. So they want to be reasonable and responsible. They are working with the big companies who are making these softwares, and they first want to patch these softwares. And even after that, they're not going to release it directly because they say that they want to add in a lot of safeguards. And they want to test those safeguards once they believe they are actually in a good place and people can't use these big models for dangerous activities, then they might probably release it. So that is the message they are giving here. Okay, so that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this was useful and interesting for you to tune into. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.